Hello, my friends. Welcome to Get Your Play Online. My name is Michelle, and welcome to ABC Arts and Crafts. This is going to be a weekly segment with me, and we're just going to work our way through every single letter in the alphabet and do a fun craft for every letter and learn everything about the letter. We're going to learn the letter sound. We're going to learn how to write the letter, and then we're going to get a little bit messy to do a craft with that letter. So let me just go ahead and make sure we are live and I can see everyone's comments. Give me 1 second. All right, perfect. And then we're going to get a little... So let's go ahead and get started. This week, of course, is going to be the letter A. Okay, so for these segments, I'm really just going to stick with our uppercase letters. So this is the letter A. And first, before we learn how to write the letter A, I would love to teach you a really easy and fun song so that you can remember what sound the letter A makes. Okay, so every letter in our alphabet makes a sound. So the letter A makes the sound ah, ah, like apple or like alligator, ah, ah. So let's sing a song together. I'll teach you. It goes like this. Every letter makes a sound and A says ah. So let's sing it together. Ready? Every letter makes a sound and A says ah. And A says ah. And A says ah. Every letter makes a sound and A says ah. So we have our letter A. And this is the craft we're going to be making today. I have a little alligator here. So if you want to learn more about the letter A and you would like to make this craft with me, just follow along and keep watching because we're going to make an alligator 2 different ways. All right? So here's Mr. A Alligator. Let's go ahead and learn how to write the letter A because we're going to need to know how to write this letter to make our little alligator. All right? See how he's in a big letter A? Let's learn how to write our letter first. You can follow along, and for my little ones out there, be sure to ask for a little help from mom and dad. We're going to have to use some writing utensils for this activity. We're going to need some scissors and some paint. So for all of my older schoolers out there, you can use these materials by yourself, but for my little ones, you might need just a little bit of help making this letter today. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move you guys down so you can see my paper. Okay, so the 2 different movements for the letter A are down, slant, and then across. So let's try that together. I have a marker here today so you can watch and see very easily. But I think the easiest way for you to practice your letters is probably going to be in pencil. Okay, so I'm just using a marker today so you can see it better on my camera. But go ahead and just grab a pencil. If you only have a marker, that's all right too. But I think pencils are probably going to be easiest. So let's get started. I'm doing it backwards so that all my friends can see it from your point of view. So we're going to start and make a little mark where we're starting. Ready? We go down, slant, and across. Great job. Let's do that again. Let's practice it a couple more times so we can really get a good feel for our letter A. Ready? Down, slant, and across. Awesome job. One more time, my friends. Let's try our letter A one more time, and then we'll get into our craft, okay? Ready? We're going to place our writing utensil up here at that top. We're going to go down, slant, and across. All right, so I have a few letter A's here. I'm going to circle my best letter A. So take a look at your letter A's. Okay, and let's figure out which one do we think is the best. I'm gonna take a look here. You know what? I think this last one here is my best one. I'm gonna circle that one. Awesome job practicing your letter A's. Everyone, great job. So this is how we write our letter A, and I think it's really important for us to know how to write our letter so we can make our very cool alligators later on in this video. All right, so I'm gonna set my paper off to the side, and I'm working on a placemat, so it's okay if my marker bled through a little bit. But let me go ahead and show everyone and tell you guys what we're going to need for our alligator craft today. So first, we are going to make this awesome paper alligator. I also wanted to incorporate a different way to make Mr. Alligator for my younger ones out there. We can use some finger paint to make a really easy alligator. So since we're also going to be using some paint, I think we should do that activity first and let it dry while we're making our paper one right afterwards. Okay, so for everything in this video, you are going to need some green paint. So I just have some washable paint right here. You can use any Crayola washable or finger paint would be perfect for this. We also have some paper towels and some wipies off to the side because we are going to be using our hands in the paint. So moms and dads, caregivers out there, make sure you have something to wipe your kiddo's hand off with right away. I really do like a baby wipe for that. I think it's really easy. So I just have that off to the side. And since we are using paint, you can use a paintbrush. I actually didn't have a paintbrush today, so I'm gonna use some cotton balls when we get to the painting part. So really whatever you have to be able to apply some paint onto your hand is gonna be perfect. So if you don't have a paintbrush, don't worry. I'm using cotton balls today because that's just kind of what I had laying around. So we have our green paint, we have a couple pieces of white paper, and we have a couple pieces of green paper, okay? And we do have our writing utensil. I use my black marker. And if you don't have any green paper, that's okay too. I'm gonna show you how you can make Mr. Alligator with some green markers and your white paper, okay? So we'll get on to that a little bit later after we finish our painting. But if you don't have any green construction paper, that is totally okay. You can still make this really cool paper alligator along with me if you have some green markers and white paper. Okay, so we have our paper, our paint, we have our markers, and we have our scissors, and we have some glue. All right, so most of this we're gonna save for after our paint so we can make this paper alligator. But first, for my young ones out there and anyone who really just wants to get their hands messy, let's make our paint alligator right now. Okay, so Mr. Alligator is green, so we have our green paint out here on our tray. You can also just stick this paint in a little bowl and work from there, but I really like these craft trays for my videos because you guys can really see everything spread out. So I have poured a little tiny bit of paint out onto my tray, and like I said earlier, I didn't have any paint brushes, so I'm going to use some cotton balls to kind of paint the green onto my hand. Okay, and for my young ones out there, moms and dads, this is where you come in. Your little ones might need a little bit of help getting that paint onto their hand. Okay, so basically what we're gonna do is apply the paint to our hand. We're gonna spread our fingers out and we're going to press them onto our paper. Does that sound good? Let's get started. So I'm just gonna go right in and put my cotton ball into my paint, and then I'm gonna just spread that paint all around my hand. Okay, we want to get a nice good coat on there. We're going to do all of our fingers. Ooh, that feels funny. Does your paint feel cold or warm? Does it feel slimy or soft? Mine kind of feels cold and slimy. Okay, so I have a really good coat of green on my hand. I'm just gonna put a little bit extra. I want my alligator to come out nice and bright. Okay, I'm putting a little bit more. We don't want too much. Just a nice, even coat all around the hand. Okay, so we have our whole hand covered. Gonna put my cotton ball off to the side. I'm gonna get my baby wipe ready to wipe my hand off because I know it's gonna be messy. Okay, so I have my baby wipes ready. Okay, so what you're gonna do is spread your fingers like this. If you can't spread your fingers, you can kind of use your other hand to do that. Okay, we're gonna put our index finger and thumb together, and we're gonna put our other fingers off to the side. Okay, like I said, you can use your other hand to spread those fingers. And we're gonna 1, 2, 3, place it right on the paper. Okay, make sure you press down all your little knuckles. And your thumb, press them down, press, press, press. We're gonna lift up, ready? 1, 2, 3. Beautiful! That looks great, you guys. I'm just going to go in and add a tiny bit of paint because it looks like my hand wasn't pressed down all the way. Okay, so we have our green handprint, and there is Mr. Alligator. He doesn't have any eyes or teeth yet. We're gonna go ahead and let that paint dry for just a few minutes while we make an alligator with paper. Okay, I'm just going and wiping my paint off. You can go wash your hands. Really quick, pause this video if you're not watching live. Just go wash your hands, make sure there's no paint left because we're gonna be going into some white paper. We don't want any green paint on that white paper. All right. Great. So I'm gonna place this off to the side and let the paint dry so we can go back in later with a black marker and we can draw his eyes and teeth on. Okay, so our paint is drying. We are going to grab our green paper and our white paper. So like I said earlier, if you don't have this green paper, that's okay. I'm gonna show you right now how you can use your white paper and some green markers. All right, and this is what our end product is gonna look like. He's gonna be a little alligator. So this one is for my friends out there who do not have their green paper. I would like to show you how you can do this on white because I feel like probably a lot more people have this white like printer paper at home. Some people may not have some construction paper at home. That's okay. We can still do this craft. So I'm gonna actually put a tray down so y'all can see me better. There we go. We can see the paper better. Okay, so this is where our letter formation, we practiced writing our letter earlier. This is where that is gonna come in handy. Okay, so I want you to make a humongous A on your paper. If you're doing it on green, go ahead and use a pencil or a black marker, any writing utensil that you used earlier. You're gonna do the same steps with me on your green paper. So on your white, if you're using white, we're gonna make our dot at the top. We're gonna go down, slant, down, slant, and across. Okay, so we have our letter A. And if you are wondering how we made it thicker, this is where we can do a little trick. So we're going to kind of outline the lines that we already have. We're going to make a line on the outside. We're going to make a line on the inside. Okay, we're going to draw a line connecting them all at the bottom. Okay, we'll go over to the other side and we draw a line on the inside and the outside. We're just kind of making our letter A thicker so that the alligator looks right. Okay. This is just an easy way to draw a bubble letter A. We want it nice and thick for the alligator. Okay, so we're doing a line on the outside, the inside, and here one more time, going all the way across, outside, inside. All right, I want to make mine just a little thicker, so I'm going to go right back in, and I'm going to draw one more line. Okay, little bit thicker on the outside. There we go, perfect. All right, so now if you have your white paper, you're gonna just color in your A. And that might take you a few minutes. Do you understand what we're doing here? We're just gonna fill in those lines that we drew to make the whole thing green. Okay. You're probably gonna need a really juicy marker for this one. So, while we're waiting for our friends with white paper to finish coloring in, I'm gonna show you on your green paper. We're gonna do it real quick while we're just waiting for our friends with white paper to catch up and color in their A. I wanna show you on your green paper. We're gonna go down slant, and across. It's okay if it's not perfect because guess what? There's two sides to every paper, okay? So we're gonna have a messy side. It's okay to have a messy side because you only see one side of the paper when you hold up your alligator. So again, we're just gonna outline our A and make it nice and thick so we can cut it out. Okay, so just draw some outlines. Connect them at the top and the bottom. It's okay if it's messy. All right, mine is a little crooked, but that is okay. I'm gonna make it just a little thicker on this side. Great. And we're gonna make the middle nice and thick. Let me take a look. Okay, that's looking good. I think I'm gonna make it just a little thicker and then we can start cutting out. Great. Okay, so we have our thick bubble letter A. We're gonna go ahead and cut it out with some scissors. Again, moms, dads, caregivers, this is where your real small ones might need a little help. But all of my older schoolers out there following along, I'm sure you got this, okay? Because I'm gonna teach you some really cool tricks on how to cut out this little center part. All right, so first we're just gonna cut out the whole thing. We're gonna cut out the big easy lines. Good, good, good. Okay, we're gonna just cut out on the very outside line. Do you see how I did not cut in where all these other lines are? I'm cutting on that outermost line. Okay, and do not worry about this middle part. I'm just gonna cut mine straight across. It's gonna be easier in the long run, okay? So I'm not even gonna worry about this middle part right now. I'm just cutting out my big outside lines. All right. Okay, so we have a little bit of an outlined A. And like I said, don't worry. See how the back, you cannot see any of your messy lines. We have a messy side and we have a clean side. So we're working off the messy side right now. All right, so here is my super cool trick for cutting out anything in the middle right here. You know, sometimes you're cutting out a circle and you can't really get into the middle. I'm going to show you that you can just fold your paper in half. And then we're going to do a little cut, snip, snip, right there in the middle on the folded side. Okay, do you see how I made that cut right there on the fold? We're going to open it back up. And do you see how I made a cut through the middle? That's going to let us cut out this little triangle. Alrighty, let's get started. I'm going to pull my finger back out. You can just go ahead and stick your scissors into that hole you made and cut out that middle triangle without even messing up your outside lines. Okay, so let's cut out that middle triangle. Be very careful. You don't want to rip through your outside lines when you're cutting. Just be gentle with the paper. You might have to do this a little bit slow. All right, so I have cut out my middle triangle. And see, again, we have our messy side. And look at that. We have our clean side on this side. It looks great so far. Okay, I'm going to cut out my the rest of my paper from the inside of the A. And then we are going to make Mr. Alligator's teeth and eyes next. So just cut, cut. And here you might have to be really gentle too. You don't want those legs on the A. You don't want those to rip while you're cutting out the middle. All right. Cut, cut, cut. Okay, and see, we started out with a messy A, but when you turn it around, look at that. See, it's okay to have a messy side because this is the side that we're going to be looking at. So we have our letter A, nice and thick. We have what I like to call bubble letter. It's nice and thick. So this is going to be Mr. Alligator's body. Let me bring my tray back so y'all can see. Okay, so we have our A. Now I'm going to bring out a piece of white paper. And we're going to cut out his teeth and his eyes. I'm going to show you guys a really, really easy way to cut out perfect triangles for his teeth. So I'm going to cut my white paper. I'm just going to cut a strip from the side. I'm just going to cut right down, straight line. I would say it's about 2 fingers thick. Okay, cut straight down. And you can even fold it if you want to see where you're going to be cutting perfectly. Sometimes I do like to fold it so I get a nice straight line all the way across. Okay, so we're going to cut off about this much white paper. All right. Just cut a straight line all the way down. Hopefully y'all can see. I'm just cutting off a little strip, nice straight line. Okay, and we have our little strip of paper. This is going to be the eyes and the teeth. So let me show you how to make perfect triangles every time. So we're going to go in and cut on the long side of our strip. We're going to make a perfect square. All right, so we have our square. Let's cut out about 4 of these squares. So you're just making one cut, snip. You're just cutting up to make a square. Square. Perfect. So we have our little squares. These are going to turn into little triangles. Let me show you how. Take your square. You're going to cut diagonal. Do you see my scissors? We're going to cut right through the middle across that square. Okay, so do you see there's 2 triangles now on each side of my scissors? We're going to just cut it. Okay, and we have a triangle. So let me show you what this looks like up against our letter A. These are going to be the teeth of our alligator. So I think this is a really good size for the teeth. If you think your triangles came out too big, you can just cut them right in half. Okay, so do you see if I cut this triangle in half, it's going to make two small triangles. Watch. Okay, so these would be even smaller teeth. You don't have to make them this small. But if your squares came out bigger than mine, and you do think those triangles are going to be too big for the teeth, you can always cut them in half again. Okay, so I decided I do kind of like these baby little triangles a little bit better for the teeth, so I'm just going to keep cutting them out. I think I'm going to make about 10 little triangles. Okay, so right now we have 2. Let's keep going. Just take your squares, cut diagonal. Great. Diagonal. Okay. We've got our 2 triangles, and we're going to turn it into 2 more. Cut. Good job. Cut. Very good. So right now I have 6 triangles. I'm going to cut 1 more square. Cut. Turns it into 2. And then we turn those into 2 more. So we have lots of tiny little alligator teeth. Great, so let's count it. I think I have 10. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great, so let's go ahead and start gluing our teeth onto our alligator. So I think the easiest way to glue these little triangles on is going to be turning it over to the messy side. Okay, I want you guys to see this really well. I'm going to turn mine over so I can see my messy side of my A. I'm going to get my glue stick. You can use any glue you have. Like, I think liquid glue would still work for this, but for my little ones, I think this glue stick is probably going to be the easiest. So I'm going to just put some glue along these inside legs because that's where my teeth are going to go. So I'm going to just put one nice and thick line here and also here. All right. I put that glue right here on the inside legs of my A. Okay, and we're kind of working backwards, so follow along as best you can. We're gonna want the pointy side of our triangles, the very tippy top. We're gonna want that showing on our clean side. Do you see how I glued my triangle with the tippy top showing? Okay. Let's keep gluing more triangles. It's okay if they overlap because alligators have lots and lots of teeth, right? Alligators have so many teeth, so it's okay if our teeth overlap. Just want to show you on the clean side. See, the more triangles you put in on top of each other, I think the better it looks. It looks a little bit more realistic because alligators really have tons of teeth. Okay, so we're just gluing our little triangles on the messy side. Okay, I'm gonna put one more down here and I'm actually gonna add just a tiny more glue right here so that this triangle really sticks. Perfect. All right, let's see. Awesome. Look at all those little teeth. Great job. Let's finish up gluing our teeth. I'm gonna put some on my top. I'm just gonna get some more glue on here. It might have dried. Okay, so same thing up here. We're gonna glue it so the tippy top of our triangle is pointing kind of downward this time. See how the tippy tops of the triangles are kind of facing each other because the alligator's mouth is open. So let's finish gluing all of our little teeth on the messy side of our A. Okay, almost done. And again, for this last little triangle, I'm gonna add just a little bit more glue so it really sticks. Awesome. Awesome job. Our alligator is really, really coming together. Would you look at that? He has lots of little white teeth. And now we're gonna add 2 circles for the eyes. I like to put my eyes kind of up here near the middle triangle of the A. We're gonna put 2 little circles up here. Let me show you how to cut out some perfect circles. So I'm gonna take that strip of paper that I cut earlier, you know, when we were making it into little squares, okay? So we're going to, if you don't have any squares left over, just cut 2 more. Okay, so let's cut 2 little squares out of our strip. 1, 2. Perfect. So I have my 2 squares, and right now, yes, they're squares. We're gonna turn them into circles. Okay, this is just my easiest way to make 2 circles that are really close in size. You're gonna go in on the side and you're just going to cut off the points of the square, okay? So round out that square, just cut off the points. All 4 corners of your square, just cut them off, make them nice and round. And you're gonna have 2 circles that are really close to being the same size when you do it this way. Great. I have my 1 circle here. Take your time. I'm going to work on cutting out my 2nd circle. So again, I'm taking my square. I'm going in on kind of the side here. And I'm just rounding off those corners. Cut off those little tips of your square. And this will give you a really good looking circle. Whoops. That's what I have so far. I'm gonna keep cutting, cut, cut, cut. Cut, cut, cut. All right, I'm gonna let you guys finish that up. I'm gonna take this opportunity to just make sure that no one has been commenting because I haven't really seen the comments as of right now. I wanna make sure you guys are all okay, following along. So just cut until you have your squares. Okay, great. It doesn't look like I have any comments to tell me to stop and slow down. So let's keep going. We now have our eyes for our alligator. All right. They're gonna go, oops, that's my messy side. That's okay. They're gonna go about right here. Okay. And for this, we're not gonna glue on the messy side. We're gonna glue on the clean side, okay? So let's get our glue stick and our 2 eyes ready to go. I'm gonna place them right about here. And honestly, you can make these eyes as big as you want. I think it looks really, really cute when the alligator has like really big cartoon looking eyes. But This was really just the easiest way that I could explain how to cut out some good circles for you guys. So we're going to put some glue on the clean side right about here. We're going to put down one. And what I like to do is actually put a little bit of glue on that first circle so those two white circles really, really stick together. And then we're gonna right on top. I like my eyes on my alligator to overlap just a tiny bit. See how they're kind of overlapping? Okay. And last thing, this is our last step, you guys. We're almost done with our alligator. Okay. We're gonna take our black marker or writing utensil, pencil, whatever you have, and we're going to draw a pupil, just a little round circle in the middle of our alligator eyes. Awesome. Let's see what he looks like. Everybody hold up your alligators. Yes, wonderful job. He looks great. This is A for alligator because A makes the ah sound, and alligator starts with A. A is for alligator. Awesome job. I would love to see your alligators. If you guys made one of these, please, please, please make a post on social media. Ask mom or dad to help you out. Snap a picture. Put it on Facebook, Instagram, and tag Get Your Play Online or hashtag Get Your Play Online. We would love to see your little alligators if you made them. Okay, so don't forget, we did make a paint alligator. So those of you that did this part with me, we're gonna go back to it because the paint has now dried. My paint is pretty dry. So I'm gonna show you how to kind of make some eyes and some teeth on your handprint painted alligator. Okay, so it's kind of similar to the concept that we did with the paper alligator. I'm gonna draw two big circles on top for the eyes, right up here where my thumbprint is. Gonna give him some eyes up here. You know what? And I think I'm gonna give him some eyelashes. Cute. Okay, and then down here, we're gonna draw some little triangle shapes for his teeth. Kind of like a little zigzag shapes. It's not really a full triangle. Kind of like a little V shape. Zigzag, zigzag. All right, wonderful. Oh my goodness, how cute. I love this little handprint alligator. This is a cute little keepsake for your little ones because it does have that little handprint. I love it so much. I think the last thing I want to do is for all my older friends out there who did make this paint alligator, I'm actually going to show you how to spell alligator. So if you would like to know how to spell alligator, just follow along. I don't know if I can do this upside down. Let's try and do it upside down. Okay, so I have my alligator here, and let's spell the word alligator together, if you can. Mom and dad, this is kind of where you would come in. If your younger one is doing this, maybe you want to write this for them. But for my schoolers out there, let's spell alligator together. So I'm going to start over here, right here up in the corner. I'm going to start with the letter A for alligator, down, down, across. The next letter is L, L, so there's two L's. The next letter is I, The next letter is G. And this might look a little wonky because I'm doing it upside down for you guys, but that's okay. Okay, the next letter is another A. Okay, and then the letter T. And then the letter O, which is super easy, just a little circle. And last is an R. Alligator. And then I like to write my name at the bottom as well, so I'm just going to write by Michelle. Okay, I really did my best writing upside down. I'm sure moms, dads, caregivers, grandparents out there, if you're the one writing it, it's going to be a little bit more neat. But here is our handprint alligator. And here is our paper alligator. I really think they are both so cute. Such a great way to visually and auditorily learn the letter A. So if you guys want to just close out this video with me, let's sing our letter A song so we don't forget it. Get your clapping hands ready. 1, 2, 3. Every letter makes a sound. An A says ah. An A says ah. An A says ah. Every letter makes a sound. An A says ah. Great job, you guys. Can't wait to see your alligator creations, and I can't wait to see you here again next week so we can learn the letter B. Thank you so much for watching and getting your play online with me today. Bye-bye.